There are many ways to display glass panel artwork, including hooks, frames, and shelves. But what if you wanted a panel to look as if it were floating in front of a wall without any hardware obstructing the view? One way to do this is by attaching a French cleat to the panel with a silicone adhesive. In this lesson, you'll learn how to design and calculate the basic requirements for a French cleat hanging system, what tools and materials you'll need, and how to set up the work area. We'll also cover how to apply and cure the adhesive and how to hang the piece. The first thing you'll need is a French cleat. This is a two-part bracket commonly used to hang cabinetry. French cleats come in a variety of materials. For this lesson, we'll use an aluminum cleat. It has a thin profile and doesn't require an adhesion promoter. To attach the cleat to the artwork, we'll be using Dow 995 silicone. This is a single-component, air-curing elastomeric adhesive. It's specifically formulated for structural glazing and has excellent glass-to-metal bond strength. There's no mixing required, and it doesn't require an adhesion promoter. Note that curing requires additional planning when working with a non-porous material like glass, and that a full cure can take up to 21 days. To apply Dow 995, you'll use an elevated straight edge. This is an improvised tool that helps to create a series of straight, clean lines. You'll also need acetone and cleaning supplies, painter's tape, a caulking gun, a ruler or tape measure, a pen, and an X-Acto knife. To calculate the required surface area for our hanging system, you'll need to know the weight of the glass panel. Each kilogram of artwork requires 15 square centimeters of glue contact area. Given that we need air gaps between the beads of silicone to allow it to cure, we should have at least 30 square centimeters of cleat area per kilogram of artwork. The surfaces to be bonded need to be flat, but their textures can be either smooth or rough. If the panel has transparent areas, the design will need to anticipate the cleat placement. Otherwise, the cleat will be visible through the piece. A single component adhesive like Dow 995 requires atmospheric moisture to cure. We'll provide this by running parallel beads that retain a ventilation gap after we affix the cleat to the artwork. Note that the ventilation gap means that you will have contact with roughly half the total area of the cleat. For example, a cleat with a total surface of 150 square centimeters would have glue contact on approximately 75 square centimeters. A bead width of 5 millimeters, spaced 20 millimeters apart, will provide 50% surface coverage once the adhesive is lightly compressed. This will leave an air gap of 1 to 2 millimeters between the panel and cleat to promote air curing. Now you're ready to assemble the piece. Make sure that your work surface is clean and sturdy and that the temperature of the room is within the optimal working range for the adhesive. For Dow 995, the range is above 50 degrees Fahrenheit and below 100. Confirm that you have 30 square centimeters of glue area for every kilogram of panel. This piece weighs 3.4 kilograms, so we need a cleat with a minimum area of 102 square centimeters. Place the glass panel face down and clean it thoroughly with glass cleaner and a lint-free cloth. Then clean the French cleat with acetone until no residue or oils remain. Plot the location of the mounting bracket on the back of the panel and then outline the area with painter's tape. This will help with keeping the bracket aligned and the glue lines spaced properly. Be sure to add directional marks to both the cleat and the piece. Mark the tape to indicate glue line spacing. Starting 10 mm from one edge, make 5 mm wide marks at 20 mm intervals. Make identical marks on both sides. Painter's tape will also protect the cleat from any glue that spills over. Slice off the tip of the tube, puncture the seal membrane, and load it into the caulking gun. Dow 995 is stiffer than ordinary silicone caulking, so we recommend making a few practice lines first to get used to the pressure required. Set up a scrap of cardboard with a few spacing marks and run a test bead. Squeeze the trigger once or twice so that the adhesive just begins to come out. Then apply a line of adhesive to the cardboard, pulling the line toward you using the straight edge as a guide. After making a few practice lines, you're ready to move on to the panel. Start and end your lines on the painter's tape. This will give you clean edges with minimal mess. Once the lines are applied, place 1 mm spacers as stops. Then, after making sure the French cleat is facing the right direction, carefully set it into the adhesive. Use the tape to align the edges. When you have the cleat aligned, press it evenly into the silicone, leaving an air gap of 1 to 2 mm. Allow the piece to cure overnight. After 12 hours, you can run an X-Acto knife along the glue sides of the cleat and remove the tape and excess silicone, leaving a clean edge. Allow the panel to cure before attempting to hang it. According to the manufacturer, Dow 995 cures in 7 to 14 days and reaches full adhesion in 14 to 21 days. Once the silicone has cured, measure, level, and attach the wall section of the French cleat. Be sure to use fasteners appropriate for the load and the type of wall. Hang the work by fitting one section of the cleat into the other. The French cleat is a straightforward, versatile hanging system that provides an unobstructed view of panel artwork. It can accommodate a range of sizes, from the modest panel we've demonstrated in this lesson to something as monumental as Klaus Moyer's Portland panels, and all the sizes in between.